he's busy writing real books now. Anyway, so good on him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's writing a novel, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Let's kick
Damn.
ass.
That is kick-ass.
I would love if we would be able to get him back if we do like a 25 show, an XXV.
Yeah. I don't even think his message still exists in my inbox, so I can't even look at what it said.
Oh, damn.
I don't think we'll do a year 25. We're gonna do XXX though, starring Vin Diesel, and it's all gonna be new metal, and it's gonna be sick.
No, I don't want Fred
Awful. This is
there.
awful.
I don't want this to end up like Woodstock '99 with Fred Durst, the shithead.
Oh god,
You can't blame Fred Durst for that. It wasn't Fred Durst's
that
fault.
was not Fred Durst's fault.
Okay, it was
put-
not directly Fred Durst, but he absolutely did nothing to fucking calm that crowd at all.
They sent Gavin Rossdale out there. He didn't fix shit.
Mm-mm.
Well,
You know, you can't blame a band like a fucking festival hiring a band that plays heavy music and then send them out there to play heavy music. Like, yeah, the number one song is called "Break Stuff." They're gonna play it for the crowd, aren't they? It's not gonna, it's not gonna stop the pieces of shit committing sexual assault in vans.
this is true. This is true. Oh my god, I feel so fucking bad for Fatboy Slim. Just had a van like roll into the fucking, what was it? They were playing inside, right?
It's like a hangar, right? It was like a hangar building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That van came in and there was like absolutely sexual assault going on. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, yeah, it was awful. The entire thing was fucking horrendous. But you know, you can't really blame the bands. The bands just did what they were paid to do.
I blame Fred Durst a little bit. Like, obviously, the venue and the organizers are the most to blame.
Why are you gonna blame Fred Durst but not Jonathan Davis? Korn was there.
Yeah, I was about to say so. Colin would play as much of a part.
J-Devil was there, and you know what? Fair enough. I do think J-Devil deserves some fucking criticism for how he handled it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to blame you for calling him J-Devil.
Damn!
That's stage name, my homie.
Oh my god!
I'm blaming you for a 23-year-old incident.
I wasn't even there.
God, we need to get Bush in here to calm this Discord down.
Yeah.
Please,
We need to
Buck.
get started. We wasted like 45 minutes because of my dumb ass.
Oh god, we got a good 15 minutes out recording though. Then that's a nice little preamble.
Oh fuck.
That was a good reference right there, Gator. I appreciate that.
What?
The Bush reference.
Oh, thank you. See,
Yeah.
I'm good, mate.
Yeah,
He knows all about Bush.
Mate, let me just pick up my razor blade suitcase when we get to work.
I'll pick up my razor blade Coca-Cola hat.
16 Stone was a hell of an album.
Mm-hmm. Same as my weight as well.
Yeah.
Hey, actually it's not.
That's why I learned what a stone was. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I was like, oh, the British just like to tell you in units of 14 pounds how much they weigh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone yelling at us for our measurements not making any sense.
We got it from them.
Yeah. But we learned it from you.
I learned it from watching you, Great Britain.
Do you know how you measure how tall a horse is? Do you know what unit measurement? Yeah,
It's hands, right?
That's the dumbest shit. Like, can you imagine we still use that with measuring stone and hands?
How heavy is this boulder? It's about 14 stone.
About 14 stones.
I also learned recently, and I don't know why it never occurred to me, because they had different kings, right? But like an English foot was different than a French foot because they were different people's feet.
I never knew that. Is that for real?
It's for real.
Oh, that's the dumbest shit. I love it.
Like, people would get confused when they tried to fucking measure shit going from England to France because they were using different shit.
We now refer to a French foot as a Napoleon.
A Napoleon.
Do you know if French feet were smaller than British feet, or was it the
I'd
way
have to,
around?
you know, I mean, one of them was. Let me see.
Who
French
was more
foot.
mobile S?
A French foot is 1.066 English foot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a little
Oh,
bigger.
so they got longer
Yeah,
toenails. Cool.
yeah,
Dave
a couple
Yeah.
Frenchman.
inches more. Yeah. Your king had shorter feet. You know what that means.
Shot a dick.
Um,
Oh, fucking hell. No, King Henry
It's
VIII was
all.
100% packing a chode. We can't lie about that.
Oh my fucking
It
god.
was definitely fatter than it was longer.
Oh,
you
100%.
know,
You could just tell.
It was like
you know,
it's like looking at a stack of pancakes.
Yeah, I mean, he has that he has that portrait where he's just holding a turkey leg, and that's all you need to know.
you know, as they used to say in the old UK, the girth's where it's worth.
Yeah, I think it was Margaret Thatcher that said that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Before she closed down the mines and declared war on a fucking island off Argentina. The
Yeah.
cunt.
Yeah. I'm
Ugh.
pretty sure.
The Falklands are about to get a chode right up the old you know what.
I'm pretty sure, like after that speech, she also shot a homosexual couple.
Possibly. It does sound like her.
Yeah, she wasn't great.
Margaret Thatcher was a horrible person.
Yeah, all believe you.
My family legit had a party when she died. Like, I'm not joking.
I love this. I love this.
Hey, don't fuck over Northerners. Right, we're ready to get this shit show on the road.
Yeah, man. And here we are yet again, the brand spanking sparkly all new 2023 model right out of the factory, the XWF podcast. How are you doing? It's a brand new year. We kicked 2022 to the curb as a family. We shed tears about it together last time we were here. Mostly Ned, and it was weird. Ned, are you doing okay? Are you here?
Oh, I'm doing great. And just like any good family, we get some heart around the holidays. And once we get out of it, we go right back to hating each other.
Ah, yes, and you do give good heart. And also Maverick is here.
Hi.
Yep, there he is. That's about
Am
all
I
he's going to
just the
contribute today.
so I'm just the redheaded stepchild of this family. I got you.
Well, you can't grow a mustache, so I mean, what do you want me to do?
I got like a little baby mustache, but like that's fucking it.
Like you're never going to be a star football player. I've got no reason to cheer for you.
Goddamn.
We're actually gonna marry Mav off for political power.
And of course, by my right hand side, as always, my brother from another mother, all the way across the pond. He chases a cheese roll down a hill once a year. My boy Gator, how you doing?
That is a great reference. I love you. Hi, everyone. I'm the Iron Lady Gator, here to close down your minds and make you feel bad about your life decisions.
That's correct. That's correct. Have you ever done the cheese roll? Have you ever done that?
No, I've always wanted to. I did a few years ago. There was a pub that held the national gravy wrestling competition, and I did that.
Okay. Did you win?
No, I came in like bottom of the barrel. I was up against rugby players and shit like that, and I am a very
So
tiny,
you got
skinny
murdered.
boy. Oh yeah, destroyed.
Damn.
Did you swallow any of the gravy?
Yeah, it tasted like shit. It was the most watered down gravy in the world. I did see
Awful.
somebody.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was terrible. I did see someone literally drop kick someone's head almost off though. That was cool as fuck. But yeah, it was a
Oh
fun
my
time.
God.
That was dark.
Holy
I'm
shit.
glad. I hope nobody has ever been drop kicked, decapitated in a big old pool of watered down gravy. But if you have, sorry about your damn luck. We got a ton of stuff to go over today. We've got results. We've got cards. We've got awards. We're gonna hand it over. We're gonna change things up for the first show of 2023. We're gonna let the nincompoop Ned K kind of take us along for a ride. So Ned, what do you want us to do first today?
We don't have any anarchy results, correct? It's just final warfare, correct?
Yeah, well, it's a funny situation, and this is, look, our lawyers are tops, right? Like we have great lawyers in the XWF. Obviously, we need to because I mean, come on, think of the shit that we got going on.
Of course, of
Oh,
course.
But the Bing Bong twins apparently also have some pretty good lawyers because they are not letting this footage get released, and now they have a little bit more stroke in the company and everything, as we'll get to. But yeah, I mean, we're battling. We're gonna get it out there. We're gonna show the people, but it has not aired yet. And this is kind of a
Hey.
tradition. I mean, I don't know what happens every year. The Yuletide Anarchy seems to run into some sort of production error. I don't know why.
Well,
This is awful.
may I provide a suggestion?
Okay.
I'm saying if we need a lawyer with a bit more stroke, we should hire Dick Powers.
I like
Is he a
this
lawyer now?
solution.
Dick Powers Esquire at your service. Cervix.
That's right. That is cervix. That's correct. That's your cervix.
God, yo! I love it. I love it.
Our
So
professional lawyer here to help.
Ready to bring in the long arm of the law.
The only donkey dick lawyer out there.
oh my God.
Oh.
Anyway, I believe there
Gonna
might
bring in
be
a hard time.
there might be one specific results card that we want to get through prior to Final Warfare, which I believe is your wheelhouse lane. The Madness results, if you'd like to.
Oh yeah, we did because we discussed the card a little bit, so that went up. This was a little bit of a different format, so we kind of left out two of my favorite commentators, really, and shout out to them for always being a huge part of the business. Jaquinde Cautemoc out of Mexico, still taking over duties again as the Tenochtitlan Quetzalcoatl social media representative as well, so he's working double time. And his broadcast partner, Ira Bath Saltzman. So we kind of didn't really do anything with them today, but we did have a full slate of matches. We know who's going to go to the anniversary show, for instance, as the third part of the triple threat. I can just go through it right here. It was live from Quito, Ecuador, Estadio Olimpico Atahualpa. It's just a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. I'm
yeah.
impressed that you managed to get all these pronunciations off lane.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I am Latino now ever since I got married. So
Latino heat.
yeah, I am. I am Puerto Rican by marriage. So I've been learning. So we'll just go through. I mean, there's some notes here. So this is where we learned right off the bat that the Bing Bong twins weren't going to be able to get here. All right. Allegedly, this was something to do with injuries sustained at the Yuletide Anarchy, but we don't know that for sure. We're not legally allowed to say.
Those
So
dastardly
got
Bing Bong
replaced.
twins and their dastardly lawyers.
Yeah.
Are we saying that allegedly the Bing Bong twins may have lost to Santa Claus?
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Nothing's confirmed yet.
That's pending. That is pending litigation, sir.
Allegedly, also allegedly, the Bing Bong twins stomped Santa into the ground.
That's possible. That's equally possible. So
Yeah,
Maverick, I think you owe MCC Monkey Bath Salts an apology, as well as Little Cash App Young Dollar Billionaires.
Anything. I was only saying allegedly. It could be a whole myriad of things that could have happened, and we'll only have to see for ourselves if the Yuletide Anarchy results come out.
All right, and I'm assured that they will eventually. Our legal team is going to prevail. We got the same guys who fought against the World Wildlife Foundation for Vince McMahon back in the early 2000s, so I'm confident.
Oh, that's a good catch, yeah.
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah,
we have Dick Powers.
And we have Dick Powers.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Of course.
At your cervix.
I'm never going to get enough of that.
All right. So we had some dark matches that started off. We got some debuts in the dark matches. Emma Couture defeated Jamaican Jimmy. Poor Jimmy. He's still looking for that first W.
Maybe one day it'll come.
The beautiful Markella debuted as well, taking on Valerie Vladivostok, our Russian gladiatrix. She fell. Walker Hill is a newcomer as well, and he took out Joey Oddjobs. And then we got to the main card, and this is where we had the Extreme Alliance which is Michael Graves, Darren Dangerous, and Barney Green. They took on BGTL. That's Bitches Gotta Learn. And the strong style Satanist himself, Hide Yamazaki. The Extreme Alliance came out victorious here in this one in the trios match. So that was fun to see. We had
can't look down on Darren Dangerous at all.
no, and look, this is a big dub for Darren. This is a big win for Darren. I mean,
hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up he's the one who actually made the pinfall after his move, the Amber Alert.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Gator's very pleased, I'm sure.
So okay, so then we had Juliana Mendoza taking on Johnny Miami. She got the victory in 3:53. That was a nice with the cosmetic counter. Jocelyn Spencer was supposed to take on Elijah Martin in Elijah Martin's Madness debut, but he did not actually show up to the ring. It was strange. Nobody ever came. It was eventually declared as a forfeit, so Josh Spencer got the W.
Win is a win.
Exactly. It's still a win. It goes into the win column. So Jason Cash took the opportunity for some free mic time to grab the stick and call out Holden Ross. Had some choice words for him. We went on to a triple threat after that, and this was Kieran King versus Darcy Graves versus Cheyenne Fire. This was a fun match and went for 12 minutes and 28 seconds, and eventually Kieran King waited and took out, waited for Fire to hit Graves with her finish, but then Kieran King took out Fire as she was trying to make the pin and stole the pin from her, so he came out victorious. Big win for Kieran King there in the triple threat.
At Dastardly Kieran King.
That's right. And that's when we moved on to the big 8-team tag match of the evening. And this was the one that the Twins were supposed to be a part of. They ended up getting replaced by BX3. So it was BX3 with Pete.
BX3.
God damn it.
Yeah. And they have a cute little logo on there. That was very well done. Did not ask for it. But they teamed with Themis Palestra and the PWT, as well as Kevin Mears and the Jessica Anderson on that side of things, taking on Two Broke Chicks, Mad Rhymes, the Disintegrators, and of course Juicy Dicks.
Woo!
It's a team of Lil Juicy and Dick Powers.
He's all juiced up now.
I just gotta say as
well, listen,
like that picture
this
of
was
those two.
not a
so
pre-planned team either. This is not planned ahead.
We planned when Dick Powers gets in bed. That's all I'm saying.
Only thing planned is Planned Parenthood. I don't know if that's a good joke or not. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's probably not.
No, I apologize.
Anyway, this one went for about 15 and a half minutes, and Juicy Dicks, actually, well, they weren't involved in the finish, but it was actually Chi-Chi Sonata that made the pin on Osira Themis, and this is the controversial finish here because Osira actually was not part of the match. As you know, she's just a sister to Desdemona and Agrippina Themis. But Osira came in matching gear and did a little twin magic to try to get involved in the match and ended up actually getting pinned. So
right.
Clearly, you know, the Gemini champs, Themis Palestra, are upset because the wrong person got pinned. It wasn't them, but I mean, they didn't seem to mind when she was in the match to begin with. Yep. So then we moved on to the Lord of Violence Lumberjack match that everybody was looking forward to. So this is cool. We introduced the Lord of Violence title belt.
Basically, I love the graphic for this.
Yeah,
it's great, isn't it? These are always fun. The graphics are always great.
Is this Gravy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gravy is basically does everything involved with these. The way it works is I just come up with the most absurd thing I can think of for a match, and then I tell Gravy to do it. He's a good sport about it, so we get some good stuff. So if you remember, this one was actually it was Thrax versus Jackie O'Lantern. It was the Lumberjacks around the ring, and if somebody got tossed out of the ring, one of the Lumberjacks could take their place in the match. Correct? So
yes, correct.
It was a weird. It was kind of a fun setup. We had guys. Edwina was out there. Darren Dangerous was out there. All the usual Lord of Violence types. So we had some pretty good action. Barney got involved. Oliver Taylor was in there. He got involved. And then there was an explosion and a blinding light and an interrupted count, and Thrax had thrown a flashbang.
My.
Yeah. And then in the midst of all of this, Lil Pump's Gucci Gang fired up. And by God, it's Lil Cash App Dollar Billionaires and MCC Monkey.
my.
They were there all along. They
Oh
were
my
there.
god.
They
And they
didn't
ran
get
out to the ring.
injuries. Maybe they did win at Yuletide Anarchy.
And they took out Jackie O'Lantern. And now the damn Lord of Violence champion is MCC Monkey.
Oh my god.
Oh my!
Yes. So
And they already announced on Twitter that they're defending this singles title as a team. So
Oh,
you have to beat
Cold
them
Lords
both.
of Violence, I like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
now
they're
it's all
sharing
a
because
bunch
they
of
share
handicap
everything.
matches. Okay.
They share everything, just like they have their whole lives. They said they did everything together, including losing their virginities together. I did not ask about it.
Hard to blame you for not asking.
But it's what
Let's
they said.
work out the mechanics of that either. I
You
don't.
could have just been in the same room.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fine.
let's not assume anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you don't understand the bond that the twins have.
It's larger than life.
I'm hoping that I don't. That's what you don't understand, Vinny. I'm
Ah.
really hoping that you're correct.
I am. Anyway, we moved on. Now the semis of the IDL Triple Threat Championship tournament commenced here with the VIP Chris Mosh taking on the abominable Holden Ross. Ross ended up taking this victory after about 8 minutes and 18 seconds. What happened here is Cash showed up. He tried to interfere, Jason Cash that is, but he got stopped by the security guards and was fighting with the cops and ended up getting handcuffed and dragged out of the arena. And
Oh my.
in the mess that all caused, it ended up giving Holden Ross an opportunity to get the victory with his H-bomb finisher, knocking VIP Chris Mosh out of the tournament, unfortunately. So he moves on to the finals, which is the main event of the evening, but his opponent was yet to be determined. We had spoiled Summer Page taking on podcast favorite Lexi Gold.
Woo.
Let's
This
go.
one went for 7 minutes and 22 seconds. And what happened here is a hooded man showed up, and we have a long history of hooded men in the XWF, if you don't know.
Of course.
This is a shadowy figure it wasn't really hooded, he was wearing a hoodie. So I guess he's a hoodie man. And this is after Jess Anderson got evicted by the referee. Jess was trying to help her tag partner Summer Page win, but she ended up getting kicked out of the match. So, the Tron lit up, and we got the glitchy image of a man in a dark hoodie, and Lexi was completely distracted by it. And then he showed up at ringside, and her jaw just hit the ground, and she ended up getting rolled up by Summer Page and eliminated from the tournament. So, bad turn of events there for Lexi Gold, because it looked like she had the victory well in hand up until that point.
Unfortunately, the most dangerous move in the game did her in, the surprise roll-up.
The surprise roll-up will get you every single time.
Exactly.
I don't know. Somebody's got to tell these wrestlers to stop looking at the damn Tron.
Yeah.
Slap the bald heads for that.
You think they'd learn by now, but no.
No.
Every single time. Single time.
Even living legend Chris Page gets done in by inside cradle. So, it happens to the best of us. It does.
Yeah, I mean, somebody needs to. I don't know if anybody does, but somebody needs to have just an inside cradle finisher. I feel like that's a Thunder Knuckles thing.
Well,
Happen one of these days.
To be fair, Ned used to beat people with a transitional move, so
And didn't know it. He didn't know it was a transition.
No.
You know it. Okay, Ned knew it. I didn't.
On a side note, don't we all agree that Dick Powers should have a move called the Huge Package?
Oh, that's really good.
I do agree.
That's really good.
Literally before you spoke, I was thinking of a joke where it was like, hey, an inside cradle is what causes Dick Powers to go away.
He's immune to the small package, but the huge package.
Ooh.
Yes, that'll do him in.
All right. So back to madness. Before we get to the main event, the finals of the IDL tournament, there we had the other two competitors who will be in that triple threat. We wanted to see them in action against each other, so we put them in tag action against one another with partners. Myra Rivers, the MILF of Madness, if you recall, she won that ladder match at Relentless on night one to get her spot. So she teamed with Molly Barnes, the Salford Supernova, who says "in it" a lot, as in like this is a great match, in it. I don't know what that means, but she does it a lot. Um,
As it goes.
yeah. Sierra Silver, who she's been waiting a long time. She won a battle royal months and months and months ago to get a shot at the title. So she's finally getting her shot at the next show, and she's teaming with Vita Valentine. And it actually ended up being, after 10 minutes and 33 seconds, it was Silver and Vita Valentine who came out victorious. So, and that was actually the Myra and Sierra basically let their partners do all the work. They didn't want to give anything away, right? They're going to be facing each other in a huge match. They didn't want to let their opponents know anything.
Right.
So it was mostly Vita versus Molly in this one, and Vita ended up taking Molly out with the eat defeat after 10 and a half minutes, like I said. So fun showing there. Myra was a little annoyed because at one point Sierra did break up a pin, and she felt that was kind of breaking a gentleman's agreement that they had. So there might be a little bad blood between them, even though they're both faces.
We shall see
And
how
of course,
that
in the
goes.
main event of the evening, to decide that third spot in the triple threat, we have Holden Ross taking on Spoiled Summer Page. And after 7 minutes and 44 seconds, we now know that it will be Holden Ross taking that third spot against Sierra and Myra Rivers. And this is a wild one because it could have gone many different ways. You know, Holden Ross has not been defeated on Madness as of yet, but this was probably as close as he's come. And then here again, Jason Cash shows up. He must have got away from the cops. He's still got a handcuff swinging from his wrist. He must have regurgitated a key like Houdini used to do to get away from the cops. Rushed down to the ring, kicks the referee in the junk, and then Cash rolls into the ring and tries to swing at Holden Ross with a chair, but accidentally hits Summer Page. And that's when, he gets tased and dragged out of the arena again. And Holden Ross is able to just put his foot on top of Summer Page and punch his ticket to the anniversary show. So that's how we ended up with Madness in Quito, Ecuador. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's hard to think that Holden Ross isn't the heavy favorite to go ahead and just win the IDL championship now at this rate, considering he is still undefeated on Madness.
He is, and he's been on a monstrous run. He's ripped everybody apart in front of him. I mean, he's just been killing everybody. He's been having one of those Goldberg-esque pushes. And let me just run down. This is not posted yet. This is not publicly available, but I can tell you as a sneak preview, this is the Monday Night Madness show going to be coming to you January 30th, and it's going to be from Bairiki National Stadium in the Republic of Kiribati. Now, as you know, we are on the Equatorial Tour right now. We began Madness 1 year ago in January in Vanuatu on the international dateline. Kiribati is actually on both. It is on the equator and on the international dateline. So it was the natural choice.
Of course.
And this is where we're going to be determining the trios champions. We're bringing them back, folks. The Delta Division was going for the last several months. We figured out who the top contenders in the six-man world are, and we have BGTL and Hide Yamazaki taking on the United Elite. That's VIP Chris Mosh, Spoiled Summer Page, and the Jessica Anderson, who I do not think lost a single six-man match during this entire period. So they've got to be the favorites. Out of that match, we're going to be crowning the trios champions. We've also got a tag team match with Mad Rhymes. That's Maxine and Bobby London taking on Majestuosa Manor. They're new to the brand. Juliana Mendoza and Emma Couture. It'd be fun to see what they have. Kieran King is going against Cheyenne Fire in a bit of a grudge match. They've been talking a little smack back and forth on Twitter, so they've definitely got some words and some fists for one another. The Bing Bong Twins are in some capacity going to be defending that Lord of Violence championship. Right now it is simply listed as the Bing Bong Twins versus the world. So anybody who wants to come and get the Bing Bong Twins from any brand, from outside the XWF, from anywhere at all, come and get it.
Damn, all right.
You thought CCPE versus the world was what you wanted to see. No, you want the Bing Bong Twins versus the world.
That's right.
You could get some sweet revenge here, Nad.
No, it's true.
Good.
I could go be the world. I could show up on that show that doesn't exist.
But you might want to be careful though, because I mean, if you give one false step, I mean, you could end up being teabagged on by them.
I remember that happening to begin with.
I ain't mentioned any prior instances of teabagging. Ned, do you have something
I
you want to
think.
admit?
Well, no, I just don't remember them teabagging anyone. Why would they do that?
Because he
Mm.
sucks.
So,
Anyway, so moving on Madness, the next match we're crowning a brand new title on Madness as well. This is, the Trios Championship is returning belt. So I think the last time we had Trios champions might have been 2016. I'd have to check that. 2016 or possibly 2017. It's been a little bit, but this is a brand new title. Celebrating the tour across the equator. This is our new secondary belt, the Equatorial Championship. And we've got Vita Valentine, Molly Barnes, Dick Powers, and Jocelyn Spencer in a four corners match. One of them's coming out with some gold.
Mm.
We'll see how that goes.
Yep. We've also got a 15-person battle royal. This is kind of a celebration this is for the anniversary cup, right? So this is just kind of celebrating Madness members of past, present, and future. We've got some names on there that we haven't seen in a while. We've got some names that are brand new to the brand, and we've got some names that have been there the whole time. So we're talking Elijah Martin, Kevin Mears, Kai Morgan, Tanya Terwilliger, Lil Juicy, Darcy Graves, Walker Hill, Lexi Gold, Oliver Peters, Sean Spider Spivey, Markella, Doc Doherty, Reginald Damshaw III, otherwise known as the Time Lizard, and wild card Matt Caden. One of them's
The
going to get
time
a
lizard
nice.
is just wild. I'm sorry. What the hell?
Love the Time Lizard. I
Holy
love the Time
crap.
Lizard. He was only briefly on Madness, but he made an impact. So it'll be fun to see who comes out as the first recipient of the anniversary cup. This is something that we're going to do every year, just as a special nod to the people who participated in Madness for that calendar year. So after that, we have the Gemini Championships. That's our tag champs on Madness, taking this time in a steel cage. As last time we had a kind of a screw job finish. This time we're going to be locked inside the steel. So Desdemona and Agrippina Themis are defending against Jane Harper and Chi-Chi Sonata, two broke chicks. That's going to be a hard knocks. And finally, in the main event of the evening, that triple threat for the IDL Championship, the abominable Holden Ross, Sierra Heckin Silver, and the MILF of Madness herself, Myra Rivers. One of them's going to become the IDL champion. I can't wait.
Oh man, honestly, this really does feel like a real star-studded Madness show. So honestly, you are going to be missing out if you don't catch up on this one. Honestly, I can't wait for the Big Bang Twins versus the World. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I think this card really sums up. This is the 12th episode, and I think it really kind of does callbacks to every other show. Either in location or championship, and it's really kind of tying the bow on the last 12 months of stories and hopefully starting some new ones. That Battle Royal is obviously an opportunity to get some things started and some new faces in new places, and it'll be a lot of fun.
you got to feel bad for Darren Dangerous not making the cut in the Battle Royal. But
he could always be showing up for the Lord of Violence match.
This is true.
That's true.
Yeah, he's absolutely well. You got to understand, he's not in the Battle Royal because he's busy. He's competing for the Trios Championship. So.
Oh, my mistake. I completely forgot. I thought he was going to pull double duty. You know how much of a work rate kind of guy Darren Dangerous is.
Yeah, well, the man is as hardcore can be. So, I could see him showing up in every single match. What would stop him?
Exactly. Not even having both of his arms broken by Mark Flynn stopped him.
No, he didn't even notice.
Exactly. Just walk it off.
Chances are they were already broken before he even arrived.
The April Fool's show for 2023 should just be an all Darren Dangerous, like enter the Darren verse.
Oh my god, that's my dream every night. Oh.
It's just a bunch of alternate universe Darren Dangerouses in one match, one battle royal.
Into the Darren verse.
I can't see Darren being anything other than hardcore. Like, can you imagine like a straight shoot wrestling Darren Dangerous? Darren,
yeah.
like Darren Sensible.
he finally gets hit too hard, and he kind of like does the Abyss / Joseph Park gimmick, right? And he's like wearing a suit.
Yo, but what's
Holy
Darren
shit.
Deliberate going to do?
Darren Debonair.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Oh my god, they do a little dance.
Amazing.
Oh
We need to make this match happen one of these days.
my god. This is going to be the stupidest thing I never write for a year. Oh,
Miraculously, his hair grows in. Nobody knows how.
all
All
right.
The most generic white meat baby face.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, Ned, that's all I got from the madness corner of the world. Why don't you take us through Warfare?
Sorry, one sec. Babyface down would be Darren Delightful.
Oh, you're right. That's better.
Good. Oh,
Complimenting people all the time,
Yes.
doing good deeds.
Hey, man, you took that power bomb really well, man. Great selling there.
wait. Gator, before we move on to Warfare, can you please tell me the title of the book that Darren Delightful wrote?
Oh, God, so, of course, Darren Dangerous' greatest novel ever was novella, was The Blood Reapers. So Darren Delightful will write The Good Reapers.
Aw.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Angels, you have to
Or the-
properly reflect the differences here.
He would write. He would write the book readers. Just a story of some studious individuals at their local library having a book club.
I like the idea that it's a meta novella about the reader. It's about
Just compliments, that's all it is.
Second person point of view.
oh
He
my
starts
god.
getting pedicures.
Anyway, on the 28th of December of last year, we had the final Wednesday Night Warfare live from Madison Square Garden, New York, New York.
Ah, yes. The city's so nice they named it twice.
Exactly. We started off the night with a very heartfelt few words from the GM. Long-time GM, correct? How many years has Smokin' Bob been with Warfare?
About 4 years now.
I mean, yeah, he's been around since XWF was founded in 1999.
Smokin' Bob actually made the company.
He's
Yeah.
that
He was
little
a
geezer.
lowly. He was just an intern at the time. He's
Yeah.
just worked his way up.
Smokin' Bob's first name is actually George.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So,
Spoiler.
Smokin' Bob Williams comes out to thank the fans, acknowledge that it's going to be a sad time when this place closes, and just pay some honors and respects to this brand that is going to be transforming in 2023, as we'll be discussing shortly.
Yeah.
He's played out and in by his theme, the theme from Dukes of Hazzard. And we never did see them smoking boys on this show after again. Or did we?
Aw.
If I had to nitpick a little bit, this segment was just way too long. Like Smokin' Bob was just talking forever.
Oh my god.
He never gets a chance usually, though, does he?
Yeah, I mean he's a man of
Let
very
him
few
have
words.
these.
He usually just lets his cigars do the talking for him.
Mhm.
But at least he,
Well,
I
there
mean,
was
he
no
ate up.
cigar
He was
here
just-
in sight this time, so I mean, if he's not smoking, then he's got to be a talking Bob.
He was just chewing up the scenery on this one.
If he's not smoking, he's joking. So, for our first match, we have Jackie O'Lantern versus John Grayson. The fans prepare for this Extreme Rules competition, but unfortunately, we do not get Jackie O'Lantern or the debuting John Grayson. We get the Universal Champion, Mark Flynn.
Ah, this son of a bitch.
He comes
Got him!
this piece of shit. He comes out to shill the optimal pack. He pulls a plastic baggie from his coat, and it turns out to be a new headset microphone and he is in full motivational speaker Scientology mode.
Sucks.
Nothing against Scientology, just in case any of them are listening, because they're terrifying.
No, fuck Scientology. I ain't scared of you. Fight me.
Suck a dick.
You fucking pricks.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, now we're gonna have to go rescue Gator from the trade winds off of the mega
I'll
yacht
do a
off the coast
solo
of
rescue
Clearwater,
mission.
Florida.
Don't worry. I'll do a solo rescue mission. Don't worry, guys.
Oh my god. He's gonna go meet True Argyle.
Is that where
And
Drew went?
I think so. I think he went into the middle of the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Became a pirate.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
You can't get out of there
Yeah, no, he's
unless
trapped
you're David
forever.
Copperfield.
So Mark Flynn comes out to shill the optimal path. He talks about how he called Price's people. He's looking for a match. He wants somebody to face. He lists the amount of days that he's been champion for at this point, which I believe is 95 at the time of this recording.
Damn.
Okay.
And he says that that makes him better than Ryan Keto, better than Thad Duke, better than Unknown Soldier, Gator, Asriel Erebus, Diet Mark Flynn. Of course, he is referring to Peter Vaughn.
Wow.
And James Raven. And his old buddy, Theo Price. He proclaims himself the greatest wrestler who ever lived. And we also get a view on the Extron that shows Jackie O'Lantern and John Grayson padlocked in their rooms, unable to escape and unable to wrestle.
What?
So,
Well, now he's just gone too far. He robbed us of a Jackie O'Lantern match. Mark Flynn has gone too far. You know, can I just go ahead and say the optimal path is a scam, folks? Stop sending Mark Flynn your money. The Jess Anderson won a single match. She won one match after she spent her life savings on the Optimal Path DVD set. She won a single match, and now she's been losing ever since. It's a scam, people. It's a pyramid scheme. It's multi-level marketing.
Can I point something out?
What's that?
I mean, she won one more match before than what she was winning, though, before the optimal path. So, I mean, there's
she
a
didn't
slight
keep winning.
increase. There's a
She didn't
slight
keep winning.
increase. It's not as much increase as Mark Flynn is promoting, but there's a slight increase.
Whatever. You notice he didn't say he was better than Vinnie Lane because
This is
he's not
true.
stupid.
Oh.
He's not stupid.
all I'm saying is that if you're the kind of person who's interested in the optimal path, you might be interested in Barncoin.
Yes.
You can actually purchase the Optimal Path using Barncoin.
Mm.
No.
And don't forget,
Except Barn.
don't forget your subscription to Barnbus.
That's true.
No.
Some great content on the old Barn Bus.
Oh, God. Oh. I don't like how many blindfolds are on the barn bus. Anyway, so we have our next match. Our first real match of the night, it appears to be Marth versus Lexi Gold versus Goth. You're going to have to tell me how to pronounce this finisher name. But as soon as the bell rings, Goth runs forward. He hits the Chaos Additive. What is it?
ADDT. It's ADDT.
ADT.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like I don't fucking know. I didn't know if it was like something you add to water. It's like, ooh, a little chaos.
He did it twice.
Well, you don't want to put too much or too little in there. So
It's
he
like
hits
chaos
the
additive. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chaos ADDT to Marth. And then he hits another one right to Lexi Gold.
Aw.
Walks back to the corner in this last man standing match. Gets the 10 count. Via knockout. Goth.
The hometown boy. He lives in Manhattan, so that's a big triple threat victory right there in Madison Square Garden in front of people who are basically his neighbors.
I wonder how Goth feels about this victory.
Yeah. What do you think, Goth?
I rose to the occasion, and I flattened Lexi Gold and Marth and sent them to the underworld, where they resided with Hades and his lovely bride, Persephone. Wow.
Well put, Marv. Well put, Goff. Sorry.
You call him Marv?
I called him Marv. I'm sorry. I've had a few beers. I apologise.
Oh, good.
That is a different gentleman with a 4-letter name.
What is, in your opinion, the best 4-letter word that isn't goth?
I think it would have to be sad with 2 Ds.
Okay, so next we have Dolly Waters versus Charlie Nichols in an I Quit match that was originally called an I Quite match.
Yes,
as
indeed.
noted on the
Quite.
I like the fact that it was changed to an I Quit match.
So Heather and Pip argue a little bit about whether or not it was an I Quit match or an I Quite match before Charlie Nichols comes out and just starts hitting his own head. If I remember correctly, he scratches his own face, beckoning Dolly to join and just start fucking each other up with him.
Fun.
Oh,
I thought you were just gonna stop at fucking.
I tell you what, who loved this match? Darren Dangerous loved this match.
Oh yeah, absolutely adoring it. It's like, oh, I can get behind this Charlie fella.
He was cutting his own face in the back.
Dolly grabs a mic, cuts a small promo on Charlie. They start beating the shit out of each other. They hit the referee. They get dragged off by security, and they both quit at the same time.
Wow.
So,
this warfare, the final warfare on Wednesdays is we're not really hitting on all cylinders here. Have we had a real match yet?
Not yet. It's coming up.
It's coming up.
So finally, we get to the chamber match. The winner will receive the #1 contendership for the new unified television title. Starting the match, Bin Kun and Chronic Chris Page. As soon as the bell kicks off, Finn stands his ground, but Page heads right for him. They start going back and forth. Page hits a neck breaker. But as the match continues, Finn is able to last until the next pod is open, the first pod, I should say. And the first man to come into the match, he's coming! It's Dick Powers!
Oh dear.
I had to. So, Dick Powers, with a lot of stamina, decides that he's going to go in there. But while Paige is distracted by the coming Dick, Finn sees his opportunity, hits him with a shoulder tackle.
Ooh.
Paige smacks into the Dick Powers pod.
Ouch.
We get a little more action. Pod #2 opens. Jerry Baden enters the match. I believe us at the podcast, pretty big fans of Jerry Baden. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Finn gets up. He walks over to Dick Powers, rolls him over, and goes for the cover, but the referee doesn't get a chance to start the 3 count. Dick pushes him off.
Can't beat Dick with a small package. You just can't do it.
You can't do it.
No.
Can't measure up.
You can't measure up. You know what they say.
Veins are throbbing right now.
You can. Oh my god. Fuck off. That was really good.
A big match like this, Dick Powers snorted a big line of Blue Chew right before going out there.
Of course.
Page places Baden into the high times with 30 seconds left to go until the next competitor enters the match. and he gets the first elimination of the match. Jerry Vaden. You hate to see it.
Jerry Vaden,
Pod.
the old revolving door. The
Mhm.
the old Grandpa Simpson walking in and walking right back out. We hardly got to see it.
It's true. Pod 3 opens. LSM enters the match. Immediately gets into fighting position. Paige tries to attack her, but she steps out of the way. Hits him with a judo trip. Crowd goes, ooh, not seeing it coming.
Ooh.
That's what happens every time every time there's a Finn Coon match. The crowd goes mild.
This is awful. I hate this. I hate this.
So we get some more. We get some more back and forth, but before Mastermind can come inside, unlike Dick Powers, Finn pulls LSM back to her feet, hits the victory verse. 1, 2, 3. LSM is eliminated. Mastermind enters the chamber. The final entrant, we have Chris Page, Finn Coon, Dick Powers, Mastermind. And Finn gets hit with the dickest
Not the dick is clothesline.
The dick is clothesline to Finn's jaw.
Thickest clothesline.
Oh. Mastermind and Chris Page. The first time they've ever been in a match with each other.
Not sure how these two legends haven't met before. I mean, they've both been around for freaking ever.
Yeah.
But I could say I was drooling for it. I was anticipating this one. I could see Chronic Chris Page and Mastermind wrestle all day.
All day.
I don't think that Mastermind could see that.
Well, he can't see very well.
I mean, yeah, didn't you think he was like 5'7" for a while? So you know how it is.
Yeah, he doesn't even know how to measure himself.
Exactly.
Which one of these men is taller?
He's using the New Zealand feet, that's why.
That's what it is.
Oh,
It's the
there
New
you
Zealand
go.
He just
Man,
goes
those
by
New Zealand
kiwi
feet must be
birds.
gigantic.
He's 5.7 kiwis tall.
Ooh, Paige insults Mastermind, kind of like how we're joking about it, but serious. Paige insults Mastermind, asks him what he thinks he's doing sharing this chamber with him.
You know what? While we're talking about kiwis, and I know that's what we're still talking about, we've definitely not moved on.
No, we have not.
I did get an update from Alias after the previous podcast, and he wants everybody to know that it does snow on the South Island of New Zealand.
There we go.
Thank
and the
you,
middle
Alias, for
island,
informing
middle
us.
of the North Island. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Alias.
Yeah, so now there you go. New Zealand facts.
Yeah. And do you know who didn't get back to us on that? Mastermind. Fucking prick.
What a son of a bitch. Do you think he knows we have a podcast?
Not at all. 100% he doesn't.
I don't even think he knows what a podcast is.
He's been on one as well.
Eventually, Powers, all beaten up, gets hit by a code breaker by Paige. Paige covers Powers, and Dick is spent for the evening. You have to see it.
Finally went down.
He finally went down. Well, any longer than 4 hours, it's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Paige manages to get Mastermind into a reverse DDT. Bam, hits it. 4th elimination. Mastermind. It's a big shame, but you'd love to see him here.
I really wanted a Chris Page Mastermind final 2. Like I said, they've never been in the ring together. I mean, Mastermind had the primo. He was the 4th chamber. I mean, come on, Mastermind. What are you doing?
I mean, you got a bit of an interaction though between them, so it's not all bad.
Yeah. So the 2 final members of this chamber match are the 2 who began it. Very poetic. He knees Finn hard in the stomach. Almost breaks the wall. Hits him with the Judas effect. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Chris Page is the #1 contender of the television title.
Wow. I mean, that's astounding. Chris Page, he nails the code breaker, he hits the Judas effect, and here you have number one contender to the TV title, the king of creativity, Chronic Chris Page.
Yeah.
Where did he get all of these new ideas? So,
Hopefully he'll have time to actually compete in the television title match while not out on tour with his band Fozzy.
Well, I think there's been an update as of late in regards to Chris Page, but I think we'll leave that for later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did see some Twitter beefing with Theo Price and Chris Page, and I mean I don't know, is Chris Page abdicating the TV title shot? I don't know.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
We'll get to that. It's been forever. All right, keep going.
So, our main event for the evening. Ned King, the Super Continental Champion, I can't fucking speak, versus Isaiah
Cunt.
King. Super cunt, yeah. He's super cunty. So, Isaiah King, the television champion. Whoever wins will be the new United TV champion.
Wow. The undefeated Isaiah King, right? He was undefeated. He's undefeated.
Yes, undefeated at this point, yeah.
He's never. I
Versus
thought
the perpetually defeated Ned K.
it's true. They both came in here in two incredibly different ways as well. Music blared and smoke began filling for Isaiah King's entrance, but Ned actually came out to no music at all business.
All business Ned K.
Yeah,
That's his new nickname. No nonsense Ned K.
Ooh.
no nonsense.
Ooh.
Yo, put that on a t-shirt, baby. Of course, leading into the match, we learned that the esteemed Stephen Cooper passed away. Rest in peace. Yep.
Unfortunate.
Stephen Cooper died?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody check on EO Bird?
Bad Stone.
Ringside, Gator, Theo, the other members of the trilogy, and Vinnie Lane with a gorilla plushie are there to root on Ned. And rooting on Isaiah King. You'll have to correct me on the pronunciation of this name. It's Cher Young, right?
I believe
Cher Young?
I think it's Cher Young.
Cher
yeah.
Young? Okay.
We're gonna have to. We'll get clarification from Isaiah. Isaiah, call in on the podcast here if you get a chance. It's just $2.99 for the first minute and 99 cents each additional minute. Just give us a ring.
1-800-OPTIMAL. Wait, fuck.
Oh shit! No.
No.
Ah, damn it!
Not this.
No.
Ned's got him.
Oh. Anyway. So, the crowd erupts as soon as the match begins. Ned holds out a fist as a sign of respect. He gets the fist bump from King. They lock up immediately. A lot of good back and forth action immediately, just because these two are so evenly matched. If I can recommend somewhat egotistically that you go and read any of the matches from Final Warfare, I would recommend this one. Our own podcast friend Gator wrote it, and it turned out really, really good, and I love every bit of it. So,
it's all right.
You're not big on it?
Well, I'll let you read the rest. But basically, like looking back at it, there's a few more spots I kind of wish to put in. I kind of wish I made it a bit more even. Looking back, but yeah, it could have done with like a good 500 more words. But I was getting very sleepy near the end of it.
No,
a very good match for what it's worth. I mean, just looking at it now,
Yeah, it's okay. I'm happy
No
with
free
it.
Christmas spirits. No Tiny Tim.
Yeah, no going into Seinfeld dimension like I did with Alias and Bobby Bourbon. You know.
Hell, the gorilla didn't even come out there to support Ned K.
Yeah,
He did,
Why would he?
That broke my heart. I wish to put that in as well. But yeah, I think I'm happy with it. I think it's a good match, but I think I could have done a little bit better as well.
So, As the match begins, they're tit for tat, if you will. They can't. Neither man can seem to really outdo the other. Slow their breathing. They're just eyeing each other, trying to figure out exactly what the other is going to do. They go through a few more counters. King takes advantage, goes into a sling blade, but K turns in time, throws both his knees into King's back as they land. Isaiah bounces off K's knees and lands on the mat, just clutching his back in pain. But Ned gets to hit a very special move. The Tornado DDT.
Oh,
The finisher of Stephen Cooper, the late, great, I think he only really won one match against Centurion, Stephen Cooper.
Welcome to Cooperstown.
hey.
Obviously, the point of this match is to grab a ladder, get yourself up, and capture both the television title and Supercontinental title that are being hoisted from above. But neither man has really focused on this yet. They're really honed in on trying to take the other down.
Seems like strategic errors on their part.
Kay gets to the corner, looks at a ladder, but climbs the turnbuckles, reaching the top, steadies himself, goes for a shooting star press, misses King, and gets drop kicked out of the air.
And he was right there. Like, he climbed the ladder.
He climbed the turnbuckles. He was not on the ladder.
Oh, I thought you said ladder.
He's looking at a ladder. He instead just... Yeah.
He just
He
looked
looked
at it.
over.
Just had a gander at it on the outside, but we've decided no, shoot star press instead.
That's a fine-looking ladder.
He's like ladder or flippy indie shit, and he knew exactly what he was going to do before he looked. So Kate crashes and burns. He's just in a heap on the ground. King finally starts to get some momentum back. Snaps the ladder together, pushes it into the ring. King is focused on getting the Supercontinental Champion, but he hesitates. He doesn't scale it just yet because Kay's getting up to his feet, grabbing the ropes. Anyway, Ned starts picking himself up with a smile because Ned Kay is a glutton for punishment. I mean, he comes on this podcast every fucking week, it seems.
Exactly.
Well done.
Isaiah grimaces. He starts approaching Kay. They share some words. King grabs Kay by the collar, but Ned gets in a shoulder thrust, throws King behind him. TV champ manages to land onto the apron, but is surprised by a Pele kick from good old Ned Kay. Ned Kay, I love how this is specified. Ned Kay moves the hair out of his eyes. Look. It's not that obtrusive, I promise. It's kind
of like a soccer mom haircut.
Yeah, and
hair.
also, me, smart writer, it is setting up for something later, but I kind of forgot to mention that part in the actual match. That's one of the things I regret.
He was setting up something that never happened.
Yeah, more or less.
Well, we can always say it was just cut from the broadcast, and
when we get to it, I will mention it.
Well, at this rate, it'll be another 30 minutes. But...
I'm so sorry.
You're doing your best.
I'll speed it up.
All right, so King is being knocked to the outside.
Yeah, King gets knocked to the outside. Ned Kay comes at him with a tope suicido, gets hit by a steel chair. Again, Ned Kay just having a bad time anytime he thinks to do something, particularly in DS.
Yeah. The steel chair that was thrown to him by Sher Young as well.
King moves over to Sher Young and resets the chair in its place. Obviously,
being a gentleman.
He's not. He's being a gentleman. And he is. Isaiah King's a very good person. And he was very, very strict about not wanting any outside interference on this match in particular. So
I think Isaiah King was also wearing a black armband that said Stephen Cooper.
Oh?
Yeah.
Maybe.
gets a potential K-cushion. He manages to get up anyway, looks to the ladder, angled over the outside, gets hit with the crown shatterer, spinning discus elbow. Unfortunately, not a spinning discus elbow.
Okay, so sorry, that's where the her thing came in. So Ned brings the ladder, ladder from the opposite side into the ring. It's hers in his eyes, so he doesn't see King on top of the ladder jumping off at him. That was the point I meant to add.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
The crowd comes to a peak. King gets up to the ladder. He's nowhere near the titles. He's just looking to take Ned down a peg. But Ned runs up the ladder. They start throwing punches at each other, one after another. They start trading blows even more. TDA off the ladder. Hits takedown.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. They're both out cold. Ned has to get up again. Ned manages to get up first. King's rolled away onto the apron. Ned manages to get to his feet. They both run up the ladder. They're trying to get the other's title. Both titles fall off, or I should say fall off the hook. They're both grabbed around the same time. Ned gets the TV title slightly before, but King manages to get the Supercontinental title. It's a draw, and there seems to be some confusion about where to go forward.
Yeah, we can't have that. I mean, we can't have a draw. We're unifying these titles, folks. We can't have
Exactly.
two champions.
So Smoking Bob Williams, along with Atticus Gold, make an appearance.
Yeah.
And they tell both men to wrap their respective titles around their waists. Ned, the television title, and Isaiah, the Supercontinental one. And whoever can pull off the other's title will win this match and be the new unified TV champion.
Does that mean that briefly, just technically for a couple of seconds, they swapped their championships? Was Ned K the TV champ here, and Isaiah King was the Supercontinental Championship just for a few minutes?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, it wasn't announced, so.
Are you just trying to remove me from being the final Supercontinental champion?
No, I mean, if we're gonna dusty finish, you should just dusty finish the hell out of it.
Well, technically, the match didn't stop.
True.
Or it was paused, but it was not specifically ended.
I mean, anytime when you send out Jack Tunney and Gorilla Monsoon, you know shit's effed up.
Oh my god! So
true.
The match gets restarted by Smokin' Bob, the last man you'd expect to psych you. King tries to go for the notorious knee, stopped midair by King, throws him down onto the mat, reaches for the strap. Sprinting King, stopped short by a quick chop block. To King's bad knee, drops Isaiah. King follows up with a standing senton. King counters using his good knee, smashes Ned's spine, reeling on the mat. King hobbles up to his feet, grabs a handful of Ned's hair, there it is, and throws him towards the ropes. Ned rebounds. King leaps, CKO, but it misses. Ned ducks underneath, turns around. King expected it. Guillotine of destruction attempt. But King leaps into the air, gets a hooked arm around Ned, countered. Before King can drop K, Ned pushes both of his arms up onto King's back, pushes him up, and manages to throw him into the corner in a tree of woe.
Devastating maneuver.
Yeah.
No, it's the second most. It's the second most devastating maneuver. It's behind the surprise roll up.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's correct.
Gator, who will obviously cut down this part a lot. He and I were talking about the Tree of Woe the other day, and we both agreed it's a ridiculous move, but we love it.
Yeah, it's the most kayfabe breaking move ever. Like, just unhook your
Oh
leg.
no, he's stuck dangling there.
Yeah, but it looks great. It looks awesome though. Fuck it.
It
My
does.
my particular favorite, I think it was Alberto Del Rio. Didn't he have like that stomp into the Tree of
Yes.
Woe finisher?
I
Yes.
love that move. It makes no sense, but I love it.
Yeah, like the
It's
only
how-
way it works is if the dude in the Tree of Woe sits up at that moment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just stomping on the ground really hard.
Yeah,
So
you can defend that finishing move by simply staying still.
uh, oh, King.
How else can you
Uh,
look up and see him on the top turnbuckle?
Yeah, just his opponent, like, well, what's he doing up there? Trying to get a better
Going
look.
on. Never seen one of his matches before.
What the
Oh.
television?
King finds an innovative new way to get out of the Tree of Woe. Instead of staying still, he moves out of the way, just rolls out of it. Kay hits nothing but Matt. King gets to his feet, faces Kay. Kay kicks off the turnbuckle, ego crusher. Manages to hold King down, goes to grab the Supercontinental title, and manages to get it. It's me!
Woo!
I did it!
You did it.
You did it!
Yeah! Yeah, give me the Dora the Explorer song.
Swiper.
We
swiping.
did it! We did it! We did it! Yeah!
Yeah,
Oh,
I swiped the title.
yeah, it did. You
He
did.
did. He swiped
Ladies
the
and
title.
gentlemen, if you couldn't tell by how into this match Ned was the whole time he was reliving it,
Yeah.
he has won the title.
Yeah. I'm very happy about it. I thought King had a really good chance at winning. Ned says a few words that I'm not going to go into because I already yapped my fucking face off.
He has a lovely promo here. He's thanking the crowd. He's saying it's all about them. He's very John Cena-esque here, so I think he should start using the Neditude adjustment.
No, that
You
never
can't
happened.
see Ned.
Oh, please. Me and Ned spent so long going through his roster page, updating it. I don't want to add a Neditude adjustment.
No, no. So I feel comfortable saying this here. I legitimately am thinking about having Ned try to hit the dead man's hand if I make it to the match with Chris Page. Just call it the Ned man's hand.
The Ned
'cause-
Man hand.
Perfect.
The Ned bits.
It's
I
so
love
good.
this. I love
Watch
this.
him in the Nedgecution.
Oh no! So,
And then the
So-
Neducator.
the educator. So Ned says a few words, talks about thanks, Stephen, thanks, Isaiah King, thanks, the crowd. And as he's preparing for the moment to end and the final Wednesday night warfare to go off the air, Theo Price walks out, which is interesting because I thought he was ringside. Well,
Ah, they went back to prepare. Needed to make a big entrance, didn't they?
this is true. And I think like Jason wanted a hot dog.
Mm.
So, it's just, Ryan had to use the restroom. You heard how long this match took me to recite. Could you sit there for the whole fucking thing? Of course not.
Exactly.
So,
You get hungry.
exactly. So Theo introduces Ned Kay as a son of New York City and the XWF's unified TV champ, and then goes to talk about the trilogy and what it was conceived to do, and announces that the trilogy is no longer the trilogy, but the saga, and is specifically focused on CCPE and doing battle with them and ripping them from the top
Sons of
of the
bitches.
of the wrestling industry. And with that, Wednesday night warfare is over and weekend warfare begins. Do we want to do the
Man.
card for weekend warfare? Card and predictions.
Yeah, let me just
well,
let me just like these results real quick so people think that I saw them before. All right.
Actually, if this is the first time that Vinny found out I'm the TV champ, he's bitter about it. He thought King won it.
Damn.
Whose idea was
But
this?
no.
Nobody asked me.
What kind of
He finally
creative?
got his due.
Yeah. I do want to say, just on the aside, King did an absolutely great job, and I cannot wait to face him again. Amazing writer.
Yeah,
So-
fantastic. One of the best.
I fucking love Isaiah King's
I
work,
love
and
him,
I
yeah.
really hope he gets back to that point again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm happy to see Ned win because Ned's my boy, but I'm really sad to see King winning streak end. Like, because that was a hell of a fucking run.
That
It
was
was-
a
Like,
really good run.
sometimes it's good for a winning streak to end because sometimes the winning streak becomes the only story that you really have to tell. So it's kind of good to switch it up.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Mm.
No,
And honestly, like as good as Isaiah King is, that's just an even bigger compliment for Ned because if King was really slamming out there, so Ned really had to up his game, so he was hitting on all cylinders. Good job, Ned.
Thank you. I think it works very well. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I do think that King has a lot of opportunities to go forward with his story.
I agree.
Especially after this loss, I think it's going. I think if this one fucked this hard to where I wasted 30 minutes of everybody's time, the next one I'm going to waste an hour. Like King 2 is going to be fucking amazing.
Well, in any
That crowd
event,
was hot too.
yes,
They
it
started
was
hot.
Well, in any event, we got ourselves the next upcoming weekend warfare. So I will run down the card here and we can get predictions going. So it's coming to you live from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. And for our opening match here, we have a returning fan favorite. That's right, it's Jim Jimson's birthday open battle royal, where it's Jim Jimson versus the XWF. If you want in, you can get it. It's a 1RP 1.5K word limit match, and anybody can enter this match, but they must say happy birthday to Jim in their promo. So that's going to be really fun to see. We have Kestrel, a new birthday. We have two new debuts coming in with Kestrel versus Cyrus Riddle. We have John Grayson trying again to have a match. Hopefully it does not get interrupted by Hopefully, just not get interrupted by Mark Flynn this time as he goes against John Black. We have a fatal four-way match. We have Marth, Mastermind, Jerry Vaden, and Ryan Keto, of all people. We have Atara Raven versus Finn Kuhn. The tag titles are being defended. It's Angie Vaughn and John Madison versus Dolly Waters and Charlie Nichols. So it looks like now they're teaming up. We have Ned Kay having his first defense as the Unified Television Champion going against the Ringmaster, who won this title shot all the way back at Bad Medicine. So we're going to see how that goes. And finally, in the main event, we have the Universal Championship being defended as Mark Flynn goes up against Latina Submission Machina in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
That's a hell of a card. And
That
here's
is
a
a
little
hell of a
inside
card.
scoop. Inside scoop. There's gonna be another match added to this card,
Oh,
and you're gonna like it. But I ain't gonna spoil it here.
that's unfortunate.
It is.
All right.
That's a good card. I'm looking forward to that. So if Ringmaster has a TV title shot, I mean, we just saw Chris Page get a TV title shot. So where are we at with that, Mav?
So I can explain for you. So Ringmaster got his TV title shot first back at Bad Medicine, so he's getting his shot here. Chris Page won the chamber match, so he is going to be facing the winner of this match come Snow Job. So that's a match
He gets
going
the
to be
snow
set up right
job
here.
shot.
Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Oh,
So what are we thinking here for
this
predictions?
is in Newark. This is the Prudential Center. That's a great building.
Yes.
That's not far from me at all.
That took me a hell of a time to find as well because I was looking for decent arenas and stuff like that, and then I just landed on Prudential Center. It's a pain in the ass, isn't it?
That's a great one.
Yeah,
it is a good one.
It's a great arena. I thought it was a bit too big at first because it's like 20,000 people seating. I was like,
we usually run 20,000 seaters, or at least like that 15 to 20K range.
Do we?
I mean, this is a hockey arena. I mean, that's kind of that range that you're looking for. I mean, that's the same as like a Madison Square Garden. Basically.
Yeah,
that's it. I wanted a big show for the first weekend warfare as well. So
yeah, I usually stick to like the hockey and basketball arenas whenever I'm
I usually
cards.
try to too. I did see a really cool arena called the 2300 though, but it was like 2,000 people, but it looked very cool.
Yeah,
That's you know what that is? That's in Philadelphia. That used to be the ECW arena.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that the 2300 is the same space, and they still do wrestling there sometimes. But that was the ECW arena, the House of Hardcore.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Well, I can tell you before we get to the end of the year awards, because I do want to do that. I want to tell you we do have an Anarchy card coming up on the 12th. And this is coming from Toronto, Ontario, because Anarchy's visiting Canada at the moment, including the unseen as of yet North Pole Yuletide Anarchy that's pending litigation that took place in the North Pole, which is technically sovereign to Canada. So this is in Toronto at the Scotiabank Arena. We have John Grayson. He's doing double duty again. We saw him on Warfare, coming up on the upcoming Warfare. He's on Anarchy as well, taking on the Jessica Anderson, representative of the Optimal Path. We have Gina Van Ziel taking on Sydney Gray. You maybe you don't know, maybe you do. Sydney Gray is the mother of former Anarchy champion Kenzie Gray.
Oh.
So yeah. So she's the OG. She's been running her gobsmacker on Twitter against Gina. So now they're coming to blows here. We have Afria Adler. I have no idea how that first name is pronounced. Afria Adler. I don't know how to Google that. I don't know if it's a real word.
I think you got it right the first time.
Yeah, Afria, maybe. Taking on Major Young, so that'll be a fun one. We have Cletus. He's back. He was pissed last time, about a month back, because he was left off the booking, so he was running amok on the show because he was mad. He's taken on Lord Rab, who he's been going back and forth with in previous episodes in a steel cage. HGH is taking on Jason Cash. That should be a fun one. We have Mastermind versus Latina Submission Machina in a go-to-sleep match. This is where the winner has to make their opponent lose consciousness in order to win the match. So that could be a fun one. Mastermind could do it with his sleeper hold or by simply boring LSM to death with the rest of his moveset.
I thought you were going to... I knew you were going there. I thought you were going to say you could do it in a promo.
Yeah.
And of course, in the main event, the four-time, and reigning defending Anarchy champion, taking on Tommy Wish, defending the Anarchy gold there. So that's going to be a good one as well. Tommy, I don't think he has ever gotten a singles the Anarchy shot before, so this will be good to see. So that's what we have coming to you from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto as far as Anarchy goes. What do you think about that card, fellas?
That's a good card. I like that card.
Yeah, it's going to be very entertaining.
The only thing I'm asking is where's Squiggly?
That is
Squiggly.
True.
Oh.
Squiggly unfortunately had to step away from the business. He gave me his resignation.
Oh my god.
Cletus scared him off.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Oh my god. Did Squiggly the Clown have like a Shawn Michaels in the late 90s moment?
He
Or
lost
like
his
early
smile.
He did. Tell me a lie, Squiggly.
Fuck off! I was not ready for that. Holy fucking shit! Squiggly lost his smile.
You hate to see it.
Oh,
The tears
really
of a clown.
You really do hate to see it.
oh dear.
Fuck off, Gator.
Ned's just melted right now.
It's true, I broke.
Well, you hate to see it, folks, but that's what happens. You got too emotional. So what do we got, folks? We got end of year awards. We promised them to you. We're not going to leave just yet. We're going to quickly run down the award winners for the year 2022, right here on the very first podcast of the new year. So, Mav, I asked you earlier to kind of go through here and let me know where we're at. I'm assuming you got that for me.
Yes. So a couple extra of us had voted. So myself, Ned, Gator, all provided ballots for these end of year awards as well.
Cool.
And we have a lot of categories to run down here. And so just to quickly brief another categories, we have pay-per-view of the year, we have role play of the year, biggest out of character moment, brand of the year, tag team of the year, newcomer of the year, returning star of the year, out of character handler, match of the year, and then we have the brand MVPs, Anarchy, Madness, Savage, Warfare, we have the Ned K of the year, and then finally we have the star of the year. So I'm going to just briefly run down, give the finalists and all the vote tallies and say who won, who has received the end of year award for right here, right now. So starting off, we have the pay-per-view of the year. So the front runners we had here was the Cannabis Cup all the way back in the summer, which featured Ryan Keto winning the Universal Championship and ending Alias's long reign. We had Leap of Faith.
I said it was a great show. It was a great show.
Yeah, I love that
It was a great show. It was a great show. We have Leap of Faith too, featuring the explosive Leap of Faith match itself, along with Alias's title defense against Charlie Nichols. And then we had the 3-night extravaganza, Back to Relentless, going from the past, the present, and well, the other past.
The farther,
It never went to the. We never went to the future.
well, kind of.
It was a
Kind of.
future past.
Future past.
Like
Quote
the
unquote
X-Men.
future.
Yeah.
But of the three frontrunners, we had the Cannabis Cup finishing third with 3 votes. We had Leap of Faith finishing in second place with 4 votes, and then that means our winner of pay-per-view of the year would be Back to Relentless with 6 votes. So honestly, it was just Back to Relentless is always what we market as like the quote unquote biggest show of the XWF, and that really showed off with the the 3-night extravaganza that it's known for, with just massive title matches across the board. I mean, Mark Flynn finally reached the summit, beating Ryan Keto in what was a fantastic match, and I mean honestly, it was the big show that I had come back for too. So it really has a special place in my heart, and I'm really glad to see that it won this award.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to overcome Relentless, right? Like you said, it's a 3-day thing. It's basically, it's what we call our flagship show. So, I mean, it's supposed to be the best one that we do. So, this is reflected here. I mean, I thought, it might have some good competition with something like the Cannabis Cup happening or the Denzel Porter Invitational because those are so unique.
Mm-hmm.
Or even Fire and Ice because that was such a new concept. But, it's not surprising to see Relentless take it. So,
Yeah,
congratulations, Relentless.
Leap of Faith really did come close, though. It really did.
Yeah, that was surprising. I was a little surprised that was like the second place one, but it was an excellent show as well.
Yeah.
So we go from that now to role play of the year. So I'll give the 3 front runners once again. We have Wormed from Thunder Knuckles. We have Alias's Otherworld Saga, more specifically Part 1 here that we're going with. And then also Mark Flynn's RP, The Power of Loving Gravy's Body. So we actually have a tie for second place here. It's actually and Wormed and The Power of Loving Gravy's Body here. And then finally in first place we have Alias's Otherworld Saga. So Alias winning role play of the year. Congratulations to him. Definitely a well
And that's
deserved award.
not shocking as well. Alias is a beast. He's a heavyweight for sure. Now that Otherworld Saga that spanned multiple RPs though, right? I
Yes,
mean that
well
was
we're specifically choosing the first part here to reflect this.
this is part 1. Okay.
Yes.
Wormed. I gotta tell you, I thought Wormed was probably going to take it. People really, I mean, they were falling over themselves over that TK promo for a good reason.
Yeah.
And Flynn as well. I mean, the Gravy's Body promo is one of his best, possibly his best.
So fucking
It
funny.
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah. So I mean, really good stuff here. Stiff competition, but I mean, Alias is Alias. I mean, what more do you have to say?
Exactly. So the biggest OOC moment, we have the revamped tag rules, the addition of Madness, the XWF podcast, but in what was a dominating victory for the most part, it was the Savage and Warfare merge. So that was definitely seen as the biggest OOC moment, and I mean for good reason, honestly. I mean, Savage and Warfare were the 2 consistent shows on the XWF for years and years on end. I mean, Warfare was been around since the beginning too, specifically. So seeing that migrating from Wednesdays going to the weekend and Savage merging in with it, I mean that's really hard to top, honestly. So I mean, not a surprising victory here at all, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, as far as significance, right? I mean, that's probably the biggest thing to happen. I mean, I think the podcasts are pretty significant. They're a big deal as well. But I mean, as far as like an IC thing that happens within the universe, what's it affecting the characters and the titles and the schedule and everything like that. I mean, the merge is definitely going to take it from there. I mean, there were some good opportunities for other things to catch up, but this one ran away with the votes. So I mean, there you go.
Yep, for sure. And then now we have the brand of the year coming up here. So it was Savage, Anarchy, Madness, Warfare, and a surprise vote for the LFL too.
Look at that. That's adorable. Look, I love the LFL. I run the LFL. I think it's amazing. I've put a lot of time and effort into it, but it hasn't. We haven't started yet. The games haven't started yet, so I didn't expect it to get any sort of attention.
Surprise, surprise. But in any event, the runaway winner here as well was without a doubt Savage, and I mean it's hard to argue why, especially with unfortunately Warfare's participation just slowly degrading in place for Savage instead. And Savage really did become that number one show throughout the year where a lot of the big matches happened there, a lot of the big segments. I mean, people started migrating to it, and that's what really led to the evolution of what became Weekend Warfare. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely hard to argue against it.
it deserves it. I mean, in the Swan Song, Savage is gone now. It deserved the recognition in its final year for Brand of the Year. So good on you, Savage. Hate to see you go, but we love to watch you leave.
Exactly.
I guess Savage has a nice ass.
That's
Jesus
right. What was next? Was
Yes, we
tag
had
team,
the
right?
tag team of the year. Yes, them no good bastards. Obviously, a consistent, strong team. We had the Midnight Dolls and their ascension throughout the year between Dolly Waters and Vita Valentina, and then obviously also we had Mark Flynn and North Korean War Criminal. And I mean, honestly, with how long Flynn and North Korean War Criminal had held the tag team titles, I mean them winning this award too just speaks volumes. I mean, they never actually were pinned for the titles; they were stripped from them, especially when Mark Flynn had betrayed his own tag partner to pursue the Universal title. But yeah, just really goes to show just how dominant they really were here. But I have no doubt that I think 2023 might spell something of a renaissance for the tag division, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I've seen some rumblings. I know of at least a couple that a potential tag team. So it'll be fun to see the tag division this year for sure. But yeah, Flynn and NK, I mean, they ran away with it, and it's not surprising at all.
Of course, of course. Newcomer of the year, we had some very strong names coming in. Angie Vaughn, Peter Vaughn as well. I mean, he technically debuted last year, but not in time to be qualified for those awards, so he qualified for these ones. And of course, Ryan Keto. And also, hard to argue against Ryan Keto winning Newcomer of the Year here. He just came in with a head full of steam, winning the Universal Championship in his debut year against Alias, of all people, in what was just a fantastic match at the Cannabis Cup alongside Charlie Nichols and Dolly Waters. Had a good little reign with the Universal Championship, beating some strong competition before having uh, a fantastic match in his own right against Mark Flynn. Unfortunately, that was where his reign ended, but he is still on top of the world, I'd argue, as we go into 2023 here. So definitely huge props to Ryan Keto.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue with that one again as well, right? I mean, like you said, Keto had an excellent year for anybody, especially a first year player in the XWF. So I mean, that's how you do it, folks. I mean, it's hard to have that kind of year with that kind of success against the names that he did, but he did it.
Exactly. And then we go from
Congrats,
newcomer.
Ryan.
Congrats. Now we go from newcomer of the year to returning star of the year. So we had a bunch of different people qualifying on this list. So we had Dick Powers, Jenny Miss got some love, Unknown Soldier, a literal gorilla got a vote too.
Yeah.
It was a comeback. I mean, it was a return for the gorilla, and he
It
made an
was.
impact. Come on.
Exactly. And in the end, it ultimately came down to Mark Flynn and Atara Themis, and just edging it out in the end was Atara Themis. And I mean, I think a big part of that comes down to Mark Flynn. Technically, having returned last year, but he was also a tag person. He really came into his own as a single star this year. So he definitely gets props in his own way. But Atara Themis just came back and instantly made a huge impact. She had a fantastic match against Ryan Keto and Savage. She won the Extreme Championship, had a nice solid reign with that. I mean, and just instantly started turning heads and just made an impact out of character as well, just being a huge morale boost. I mean,
Flynn, the match he had with Flynn recently was amazing as well.
of course, yes,
Mhm.
that ended the year. So I mean, Addie definitely deserves this award. Addie Smash. I mean, we love her. We love her.
Yeah, and yes, she took the Extreme title away from Big Preach, so that's the highlight right there.
Exactly.
Sad moment.
It really
Five
was.
match with Mark Flynn, I sleep. big Paige Atara Raven match. Yo.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Congrats,
That's
Atara. I'm
hilarious.
happier when you're here. So congrats, Atara Themis, Atara Raven Themis, whatever the fuck your name is.
So,
what a congratulations.
and speaking of people who are morale boosts behind the scenes, we have the out of character handler next. So we had a lot of different names here getting some love. I mean, names like Charlie Nichols, Leonard Nichols, people who help out behind the scenes. Theo Price also got a surprise vote too for his work with Chris Page on the Page and Price podcast. Be sure to give that a listen to in your free time.
Mhm.
And speaking of Chris Page's podcast, Chris Page also got a lot of love here with his tons and tons of podcasts and work behind the scenes, work with the WGWF also. So he's just really been everywhere around the e-fending world. And speaking of people who've been around everywhere in the e-fending world, Denzel Porter too, with his promotional work behind the scenes, just giving lots of names, lots of promotions, lots of love that they all desperately need. I mean, we would not be here without Denzel Porter, so definitely be sure to give him some love too. But the winner of the out of character handler of the year award is none other than our very own Gator. So congratulations to Gator for all of his work on the XWF podcast and graphics, and just helping us be the engine that keeps us moving.
Fucking rigged. I voted for Denzel.
That's not clapping, by the way. That sound you hear, I am not clapping.
Yeah, are you
I'm-
patting your belly?
In a
Patting
manner
your
of
tum-tum.
speaking.
I was shoving ballots into boxes in the midst of the night to make sure
Oh.
this happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, in 10 minutes ago, we just got a heap of votes for Joe Biden.
Oh my!
Oh, whoa!
No, I appreciate the votes and stuff like that. I don't deserve it, but I appreciate it.
Shut up.
Oh,
Gator
you
does a ton of work. Gator puts this podcast together. Gator makes all the graphics on the front page. He puts the shows together with great written matches, great graphics, great everything, and a great attitude. Fuck off, Gator. Stop acting like you don't deserve it.
Fuck that self appreciation. Fuck you, Gator, and take your fucking award.
We just cut to an image of like Gator being forced an award down his throat, just like being pushed off stage.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to find.
You piece of shit.
Ugh.
Well,
I
now
want
that
to
we
throw. I
have
want
the,
to throw out some love. I want to throw out some love here for Gravy though as well. He didn't.
of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't think people are aware of the amount of stuff that Gravy does for me. I think I mentioned it before, but yeah, I mean Graves is all over Madness. He's always a huge help for anybody who needs it. Just with his creativity, RPing as well as just helping out behind the scenes as well. So he just definitely deserves some mention along with everybody else who absolutely deserve to be on that list as well. So thank you personally, Graves, because I depend on you, my man.
Good man. Yeah, sorry. So I just want to just throw out two shouts. So yeah, Denzel Porter, great guy as well. Check out Denzel Porter Invitational 2, which is coming this year. I know he's working really hard on that. And another shout out to Jonathan Barrows, who does a lot of fucking work, and he just posted his year end honors like a couple of days ago. So make sure you go check that out on the site too.
Did that all on his own. I mean,
Yeah.
just went out of his way to do that for people. So great guy there. Everybody here, just great people. All better than me. Because as we know, I am human trash.
Yeah, all right.
There are human trash lane.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
now
match
that
of the
we
year.
Yes, match of the year. We had a lot of star-studded matches this year, all of them great in their own ways. We had matches like Alias's title defense against Charlie Nichols at Leap of Faith, or the Fatal Four-Way match at the Cannabis Cup versus Ryan Keto, Charlie Nichols, Dolly Waters. Mark Flynn's surprise match against Kieran King of Madness that went for over a half an hour.
It was a great match, though. Fucking great
It
match.
was
As
a
an
great
opener.
match.
Yeah.
Amazing.
As an opener, yes. We also had just the War Games matches throughout the entire event as well, and also the titular 2022 Leap of Faith match getting some love as well. But ultimately, what won match of the year was Ryan Keto's title defense against Mark Flynn at Back to Relentless. Just a brilliantly executed match that spanned over an hour, or 1 hour, I should say, and just really set the stage for just the ending of 2022, sorry, as a whole, with Mark Flynn's title reign, the optimal path, the gravy storyline, just a whole bunch of stuff getting set up from here, as well as Chris Chaos's return. I cannot speak right now. Chris Chaos's return after the match. I mean, just honestly, the peak of a match in 2022. You cannot go wrong with enjoying this.
This is the most 2022 match, that we could have done, right? I mean, Mark Flynn and Ryan Keto basically are the faces of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense on the best show of the year, the relentless pay-per-view of the year, I should say. So I mean, it makes sense. Top match right there. Well deserved. Very well written. Very well role played. Awesome result. Yeah, best match of the year.
Best match.
Shout out to Dolly Waters who wrote that match as well.
Yeah,
that's right.
Big shout out.
Yeah. Dolly really nails it when she writes matches. I wish we got more of those.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Definitely enjoyable content. But anyway, we go from match of the year to now the brand MVP. So we'll be going in alphabetical order for the brand, starting with Anarchy. So we had a lot of names being thrown out for Anarchy. We had Edward and Edward Jr. getting some love. Mastermind also got some love for his own Anarchy Championship reign. Money Oswald, Latina Submission Machina, and even the literal Gorilla got some love for the Anarchy MVP.
Yeah, boy.
But ultimately, a very strong win came at the end of the day for the four-time Anarchy champion, Ruby, for just really carrying the brand. Superhero, our own superhero, really paving the way for Anarchy to just shine through this year. So I mean, big props to her for just everything she does. So definitely well deserved.
Just shot to the top of the vote in a banana line blur.
Yeah.
Ruby took it home. You got to do it. I mean, who else could it really be? I mean, honestly, there's a literal gorilla. You're right.
No.
I think Jason Cash should have got mentioned on here. Cash really
right.
came on to
agree.
Anarchy and had a fantastic run and went undefeated for a really long while on there. So it's surprising to not see his name pop up on here, but
definitely would have been a worthy honorable mention.
Yeah, definitely. So that was surprising. But
gotta
good
give
job,
love
Ruby.
to,
Congrats.
Yeah. Gotta give love to Ruby. Ruby did great. Obviously a soft spot in my heart for Edward. Just having a pretty good year, pretty enjoyable and fun year.
Edward Jr. both on here.
Mm-hmm.
Both members of the family. I mean, honestly, I really loved Edward's title reign. Honestly, it was super enjoyable just watching and reading his promos and the feud with Mastermind and the Misfits. I mean, it's regrettable that the title reign couldn't continue, but I mean, considering who won it in the end, I mean, we love to see Ruby on top as well. So it's all good.
Absolutely. Edward and Edward Jr., members of the Paleolithic bloodline.
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course, neither of them can be head of the table because Jesus Christ didn't invent it yet.
Did Jesus Christ invent tables?
Oh my God, you don't know. Oh, you don't know. Have I got a video to show you, Vinny Lane? Just to briefly explain it, in The Passion of Christ by Mel Gibson, Jesus Christ invents a dining room table out of fucking nowhere, and Mary comes over to it like, what the fuck is this? Why would you? It's too tall because we have to sit on the floor. And Jesus is like, no, that's where you put the chairs and you sit on the chair and eat from the table. And Mary's like, it'll never catch on. And it's the greatest scene in cinema history.
I love this. Holy shit.
So we're saying the Egyptians didn't have chairs. That's what we're saying.
Yes.
And the Greeks,
no
chairs.
No chairs.
Never heard of chairs. The Byzantines, the Ottomans, none of these guys.
Nope.
Well,
never thought of chairs.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, they made chairs, but they never thought to put a chair next to a table.
Oh, it didn't click.
Yeah, it didn't click. But then, Son of Christ, he comes along, fucking fixes it like that, and we've been doing it ever since.
Wow.
And of course, the Ottoman Empire was halfway there with the chair, but didn't seem to find the other half.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the joke I was looking for. Now we can move on.
Madness MVP.
Yes, Madness MVP. We're going through the brands now. So we had even more names being shouted out here for Madness. We had Lexi Gold, Darren Dangerous, Karen King, Michael Graves, Themis Palestra getting a lot of love. Vinny Lane also getting some love. And obviously, of course, the Bing Bong Twins getting a nice shout out here. Love the Bing
E-
Bong Twins.
Each one got 0.5 of a vote. It was not that funny, but that's all right.
Anyway,
It's really funny to me for some reason.
yeah. Just hearing Ned laughed about it. Anyway, some bigger names coming up here for the MVP votes also. So we had Chris Mosh getting a lot of love. Elijah Copeland got a couple votes too. And ultimately, in the end, our very own Lord of Violence, Jackie O'Lantern, has won the Madness MVP. Just, consistent performances on the green brand. And I mean, obviously, also the Lord of Extreme championship reigns. I mean, it definitely goes a long way for help solidifying this MVP win. So definitely major props to Jackie O'Lantern. We'll see if she can continue on that 2023.
Great work. I mean, at first I was a little surprised to see her name as the winner, but now I think about it, and yeah, she's really anchored that the deathmatch segment of the Madness brand. So, I mean, Mosh and Copeland are both the only two IDL champs, so I guess they kind of split that vote. Whereas
Mhm.
Jackie has really kind of cemented herself as the Lord of Violence so far. So, yeah, good work, Jackie.
Yes, nice. Good job, good job. And we'll see if she can maybe even get the Lord of Violence championship back from the Bing Bong twins. Ooh.
We shall see.
Yes. But we go from Madness to Savage. So obviously Savage has been a very jam-packed brand this year as we have gone over. But two names above all else really solidified themselves as the go-to Savage MVPs, quote unquote. We had Ryan Keto, who got some good love in his own right. And I mean, honestly, I thought he was going to take it myself personally. I thought he really solidified himself as the Savage guy. But no, ultimately, in the end, who really won the Savage MVP was a very dominant and very well respected television championship who just went out there and just wrecked shop, cleaned house week in, week out. It was none other than Charlie Nichols. Congratulations to Charlie for a very well deserved Savage MVP victory. Hats off to you.
Glad to see Nichols take something here. I mean, yeah, I
Mm.
mean, honestly, nobody has been a bigger thorn in the side of Ryan Keto than Charlie Nichols. Nichols has defeated Keto on numerous occasions and just added another one here today as Savage MVP.
Oh,
Hey,
Oh, well
there
put.
you go.
Very well put.
Yeah.
So we go from Savage now to Warfare. So we had a couple different names. Ryan Keto and Charlie Nichols both getting some Warfare love as well. But ultimately coming down to both Peter Vaughn and Ned Kay, actually both people who fought in the Super Continental title match at Back to Relentless. And just like his victory there, Peter Vaughn just managed to squeak out the narrowest of victories against Ned Kay. It was a really close one, honestly. Um, Ned deserves a lot of love too. I mean, as he said in his promos leading up to his title match against Isaiah King, he was Warfare for a good chunk of the year. I mean, honestly, hard to think of Warfare without Ned Kay. And he really capped that off towards the end by winning the Supercontinental Championship. But Peter Vaughn also really helped dictate also how Warfare went along with his own Supercontinental reign and just being the constant man on that brand. Hats off to
Yeah.
Vaughn.
Vaughn
absolutely.
anchored that Supercon title for a good long time, so I mean, that's well earned here.
Mhm. Mhm. Anything to add?
Like nothing but love Devon because this guy, like honestly, if you go out and you read his work and you see what he's been doing, not just in the XWF but elsewhere, just interfed.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking amazing. Like
Oh, Vaughn's
legitimately,
incredible.
yeah. He could easily be universal title material again. Like he
Yeah.
already did it.
Yeah.
Speaking of world title reigns, actually, I'm going to give a special shout out to Peter Vaughn for actually just winning the WGWF championship over at the West Coast Rumble. So hats off to him
Yeah.
there. And
Absolutely.
Defeating Mark Flynn and Ryan Keto in that Rumble.
Wow.
exactly.
Very own Goff, who made it to the top 5 as well, if I
Hey.
Yeah.
remember.
So
Yeah.
So
and he has also, I believe, and somebody could verify this. I might be wrong, but I believe he is also the Thunder Pro champion, Peter Vaughn.
yes, he
Fucking
is.
hell. How
Yeah.
can one man be that busy? I don't get it.
Yeah, he's an everyman. He wants to work as much as he can.
Didn't he win like 3 world titles at the beginning of last year too?
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah, he had
Christ.
multiple world titles all at once,
Depending on-
including ours at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, he could very well maybe do it again this year too. We shall see.
Would love to see it. I think Vaughn and Flynn would be a great match. I mean, come on.
Absolutely. As he is known in the Death Battle tournaments on Discord, Peter the Bomb Vaughn knows how to fucking blow up.
He does.
He does.
Oh.
So we have the Ned K of the Year award. So
This is where the money is.
yes,
Do
Ned
we
K.
make use of it?
Ned K has had some words to share about this award. Would you like to comment on it again, Ned?
This is the goofiest fucking award that I've ever seen in my life. I'm so fucking angry about it, and I want to specify. I'm not mad because I lost. I didn't expect to win. Immediately, as soon as it was announced, I knew I was gonna lose.
Yeah.
But
You weren't even nominated.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't
I wasn't.
nominated. He had to get written in.
I got a write-in vote, which is even fucking more insane. So may I read off the front runners for Ned K of the Year?
Well,
Do it.
this is technically your award, so go ahead.
Okay. So of course we can't talk about Ned K of the Year without talking about what we've all been mentioning every episode of this fucking podcast, being Carbon Rod.
Oh.
Now, I don't know how this
I love
fucking
the Carbon
rod keeps getting brought up. But my God, I just can't get over it. There was also a vote for the chameleon that was counted properly. That is me. That is me. That does. Why does that count towards a different individual?
You can't prove
Come
that
on,
the
AK.
chameleon is you.
Yeah.
What? Dude, it literally says I am Ned K. Put up the image. I wrote out all of my first fucking titles for my roleplay. The first one
Actor in
of
the
every
chameleon
roleplay.
mask.
No.
Yeah.
No,
No.
paid actor in the chameleon mask.
The footage was missing.
Telling me there's a coincidence?
Ned, I'm just gonna put a picture of the inanimate carbon rod. So.
Oh,
All hail Rod.
All hail
Rod is God.
Rod, this is God. Anyway, so Ned K also got a vote. I love to see myself written in.
You got
and the
as
front-
many votes as the Rod.
It's true. It's
Brilliant.
amazing.
It's hard to tell them apart.
I do look very similar. I'll show you inanimate. Anyway,
He says to every woman he's with.
Oh dear.
so Jim Jimson was the runner-up for Ned K of the Year, and frankly, I'm pissed off as all hell because Jim Jimson should have won. Like, he should have won Ned K of the Year specifically because my own teammates, like Jason Cash, have mistook Jim Jimson for me because of his fucking Discord name. And it's not like a one-off deal. It's happened multiple times.
And he's
That sounds like a skill
for like
issue.
2 years.
Yeah. And yet he lost to a literal gorilla.
Yeah.
We love the
We
gorilla.
love the
Good
gorilla.
job, Gorilla. Oh man, he's the best, isn't
Yeah.
he?
A literal gorilla is your Ned K of the Year. I'm fucking done. Let's go.
Once-
You.
I can't
Once
believe
again,
how
the gorilla
over...
owns Ned K.
Yeah, I can't believe how over we've gotten this gorilla though. Just from like a one-off
Real.
match, like we've gotten this gorilla so fucking over.
No-showed.
The next
He
great
no-showed
joke.
the fucking match. Oh my god, my fucking phone's ringing. 1 second.
That's how we build stars here in the XWF, folks.
Exactly. So we go from the Ned K of the Year to finally our last award, our best award, the Star of the Year. So we had 4 major frontrunners really establish themselves. We had Alias dominating the first half of the year with his own Universal Championship reign. I mean, and has honestly just been the man to beat. And we also have the man who upset him to win the Universal Championship. It was Ryan Keto, who definitely helped carry throughout the middle of the year with his own heroics and just leading the way alongside the trilogy, which has now become the saga. And yeah, definitely going to be a big name to watch out for in 2023. We also have the aforementioned man on his side, Charlie Nichols, who had multiple thrilling confrontations for the Universal Championship. I mean, just been arguably one of our biggest heels out there. And we have the winner of Star of the Year. We have none other than Mark Flynn, our current Universal Champion. And I mean, just hats off to him. What an amazing fucking year he's had from top to bottom. I mean, just Cannabis Cup, War Games, the tag title run, and obviously the match of the year at Relentless. I mean, there's really hard to just come up with a more thrilling year than the one he's had. So, I mean, just massive fucking props to Mark Flynn, honestly.
Yeah, hard to argue with that one. I mean, Keto, Alias, obviously huge names. I mean, Peter Vaughn, we talked about him earlier. Isaiah King came in strong at the end, even though it was, lesser titles. Looks like Nichols got a vote. That's probably from Nichols.
Oh, boo! Oh.
Damn.
That's all right. I love you, Charlie, but you vote for yourself a lot.
Well,
No, congratulations, Mark Flynn, Star of the Year. I mean, everybody here, look, everybody deserved. All the winners are deserving winners. I was happy to see everybody get some recognition. Maybe we can do something for them, make little signature bars for them. We haven't done that in a while. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I'll think of something with you guys.
Yeah,
can we
figure
not
something
make
out.
one for Ned K of the Year? Can I please not have a custom Ned K of the Year banner out there that I'm not allowed to use? That that feels so mean.
Well, you didn't win it.
Do it.
Yeah, you didn't
Do
win.
it. Do it.
It's
Maybe you should do a better job of being Ned K.
Hard to argue with that.
Well, it's true. I was the chameleon for a considerable amount of time. Fuck.
Yeah. There you go.
Supposedly the chameleon. We have no proof.
No proof.
Oh my god, am I dealing with the fucking Bing Bong Twins lawyers over here? Allegedly? What the fuck?
Well,
I mean,
Anyway,
even
I am
Stephen Cooper's
representing.
body got a vote for Ned K of the Year. So
I do want to give a shout out to Mark Flynn. The guy's absolutely on another fucking level. Keto got a good amount of votes here too, and obviously he's a teammate. I think incredibly highly of him. Charlie, he probably voted for himself, but you know what? You know what? He did a great job this year, and he really does deserve the recognition for it.
no, Charlie
And
always does a great job. I
Yeah.
agree. I'm not. I would never say Charlie doesn't deserve to be voted. I just really think he voted for himself.
But I'm trying to think, like you mentioned Isaiah King and Peter Vaughn as two other really good choices for Star of the Year. And I'm trying to think if we have anybody else who would have been a good shoe. And I guess Alias. Alias still had an amazing front half of the year and a couple of matches in the running for match of the year, even this far in.
Yeah, Alias would be a good one. I mean, I think an argument could be made for Ruby as well.
Yeah, Ruby had an incredible year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of names really that people have great years. Don't get me wrong, but nobody has had the year that Ryan Keto or Mark Flynn or Alias had. I mean, those guys were just dominant all the way through. So I mean, it was going to be one of those three for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think we've talked for long enough. I feel like we've outstayed our welcome. We had a lot to get through, but we slogged through the muck. And we got here at the end. We had a lot of fun times, a lot of bad times, and a lot of everything in between. So I say we call it a night and get back at the grind. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
sounds like a plan. I mean, it is very late. I'm sure where Gator is.
I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. in England right now.
Close. 4 a.m.
I'm
Get
sorry.
some
Gabe.
fucking rest. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. It's a good thing I had a midday nap today.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to do those.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. Let's we took too long anyway, but that's all right. We'll edit it down a little bit, hopefully.
We'll edit it down.
Okay, you. Okay, that's why you got the damn award.
We'll be offering you moral support.
I appreciate it. It's nice, yeah.
I'm just saying that both of those Wii's are pulling a lot of weight. That's a ton of work. I wasted a lot of time, and Gator's about to have to deal with it. I am very sorry.
I wasn't gonna say it, but all right, folks. Well, that's it from us. We'll see you next time in the XWF podcast. We'll have the usual slate of results and cards to go through. We won't have the end of the year award stuff, so won't take quite as much time. But thanks for sticking through it all, and thanks for listening. And I don't know, anybody have anything else they want to say? Everybody want to say goodbye?
I think you need to say goodbye to a certain person.
Oh, well, it is 2023, so I mean, I feel like we have to kick it off right. Ghost Tank, I just want it from the heart. Look, I mean, I did a lot of thinking. You know, it was the holiday season. My family was close to me. I kissed my wife under the mistletoe. I opened presents with my 1-year-old baby. And the only thing I could think of through all of that was just how much I wanted you to go fuck yourself.
I was
Oh my god!
to say kissed my wife under the camel toe. I was hoping so.
That's awful, Ned.
That is my wife, Ned.
This is fucking awful. Holy shit.
Anyway, fuck off, Ghost Tank. Good night.
Bye.
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 All right, everybody. Let's go. Jesus Christ, that was long.
Holy shit.